John, lesson 67, chapter 15, verses 16 through 17. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you that you should go and bear witness, and that your fruit should remain, that whatever you ask the Father in my name, he may give you. These things I commanded you, that you love one another. So we see that Jesus spoke of great privilege for the disciples, friendship with the Master, answered prayer, bearing much fruit, knowing things from the Father. The disciples should rightly treasure these without becoming proud, as if they had earned them. They were all rooted in the fact that Jesus chose them, not that they chose him. Jesus chose disciples not simply so they would have the thrill of knowing that they were chosen by God, but so that they would bear fruit, fruit that remains to the glory of God the Father. Again, Jesus connected fruit bearing with answered prayer. Also, Jesus commanded love among the disciples here in these verses. When he departed from them, they must not disband or turn against each other, and Jesus prepared them to stay together and to love one another through his words. Verses 18 through 20 go on to say, if the world hates you, you know that it hated me before it hated you. If you were of the world would love its own. But because you are not of the world, but I chose you out of the world, therefore the world hates you. Remember the word that I said to you, a servant is not greater than his master. If they persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they kept my word, they will keep yours also. Jesus told the disciples that the world would often hate them. As wonderful as Jesus was and his message was, they should expect to be rejected when Jesus departed, just as much as they were often opposed while Jesus was with them. Christians through the centuries have known the hatred of the world, and millions have died for Jesus. It is said that more died as martyrs for Jesus in the 20th century than in all previous centuries combined. Hard to believe, but true. Verses 21 through 25. But all these things they will do to you for my name's sake, because they do not know him who sent me. If I had not come and spoken to them, they would not they would have no sin, but now that they have no excuse for their sin. He who hates me hates my Father also. If I had not done among them the works which no one else did, they would have no sin. But now they have seen and also hated both me and my Father. But this happened that the word might be fulfilled, which is written in their law, which said, they hated me without a cause. So that phrase, they hated me without a cause, Jesus quoted this line from Psalm 69 and Psalm 35 to show the scriptural precedent and prophetic fulfillment that there was no just cause for the world to hate Jesus and his Father as they did. Verses 16 through or 26 through 27. But when the Helper comes, whom I shall send to you from the Father, the Spirit of truth, who proceeds from the Father. He will testify of me, and you also will bear witness, because you have been with me from the beginning. So Jesus previously spoke to the sending of the Helper in John chapter 14. The departing Jesus knew the disciples would need the presence and the power of the Holy Spirit to face the opposition the world would bring on them. Jesus had told them that the Helper, that is, the Holy Spirit, will continue the teaching work of Jesus. He talked about that in chapter 14. Here he explains that the Helper would speak of and about Jesus. The disciples were not left in the world merely to endure the world's hatred. Empowered by the Helper, that is, the Holy Spirit, and his testimony about Jesus, they will bear witness of who Jesus is and what he did to restore the world. We'll stop right there for now.